Finally, some news. Alright folks, patch 1.19 is out now on the common test. So let's take a look at the new experimental equipment as well as the hidden vehicles added in this patch. But what the hell is a experimental equipment? Experimental equipment will help you increase additionally the value of an important stat at the cost of another stat that's not so crucial for you. So it's like field modification in equipment form, practically. Alright, I mean, more choices is always better, right? Unless it's super broken, but let's take a look. So it cannot be purchased, it'll be rewarded, so it's like bond equipment, practically, or like bounty equipment. Yep. You need components to make it, blah 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 blah. There are different types of it, different levels of it too, so there are different stages you can upgrade. You get components to upgrade from missions, I believe, or stuff, events. Level 1, using components to disassembly experimental equipment. I think you can get it from missions too, but who the hell knows. There are different levels, you need different components to upgrade. Alright, fine. Example. That is way too complex, so let's just use the actual game for the example. With the M103, equipment, experimental. So we have fire control T1, tier 1 I guess, but longer aim speed at the cost, or worse aim speed for better dispersion. So this is mostly for medium tanks practically. I think one of the medium tank perks is also like that for field modification, but let's remove the rammer and test this thing. Remove from this slot. Wait, what? It's plus 7%, not minus 7%. I get faster aim time and better dispersion while moving. There's no detriment. There's no downside. The hell's this? Yeah, I get better aim time and better accuracy while moving. I think that's a bug. It might increase the aim speed, not decrease it. Alright, confusing. Alright, plus 7% to engine power. And minus 5 to dispersion accuracy. So you're more accurate at the cost of engine power, practically. Or the other way around, but... Wait. You get plus 7 to engine power. You get plus 4 to top speed. The only downside is you're not as accurate while moving and shooting. You get better traverse for the hull and turret as well. Holy crap. That might be pretty good. Wait. Wait. I think they misprogrammed this. So currently I have minus 23% from dispersion while moving and traversing. Is that from like better accuracy and... Where the hell is this from? That's for traverse speed. But I get better top reverse speed. That's not it. That's not the field modification I'm looking for. Aim circle size. Aim speed. Minus 5% is the aim speed getting worse. So plus 5% is aim speed getting better? I still don't understand. That's a good thing, right? If it's green, it's good. Yeah, it's green, that means it's good. So what's the downside of having this? This is like turbocharger, and as well as better rotating mechanism thingy. That's mostly useless unless you're using artillery or something. Like the French artillery at tier 9, but with the turret, but still. Or the Passante, but still. There's no downside. it adds more weight, but there's no downside to this thing. Do you guys program this right? Because this is a lot better than just a turbocharger. You get better haul and turret traverse as well. And better dispersion while traversing too. I think they misprogrammed a little bit. Otherwise, this is a lot better. So you cannot really build it, but you can upgrade. It takes components. Disassemble experimental equipment to get more components. So it's like combining all of them into one, like Power Rangers or I don't know, Transformers. What? All right, this one is vehicle hit points plus some percent, module durability, loading speed penalty, and loss of engine power upon damage of modules. So the only downside to this thing is if you get damaged in terms of engine power or in terms of the ammo rack, it's more detrimental for you, but you get more health out of it and more module durability. So as long as you have the repair kits, it doesn't matter, right? So it's like the medium tank modification practically. Give me a sec. Medium tank field mods. So it's like the first field modification for medium tanks. It's like this. You have worse ammo rack penalty when you have a damaged ammo rack or damaged engine, but you get better dispersion or better traverse for your turret or your hull. So it's like that, but if you get damaged without the repair kit, or if the repair kit is on cooldown, you are screwed. Or more screwed, but there's no downside to these equipments. You say these are like detriments. There are no detriments using the mobility improvement system. It's supposed to have worse dispersion while moving, but it doesn't. Don't tell Wargaming that. This is a lot better than just a turbocharger or just a... This is vertical stabilizer practically with better aim speed, like enhanced gun lane drive added in as well. Get components. Oh, so you only get components from destroying the stuff. Yeah, you have to turn 3 into 1 practically. All right, enough about this experimental stuff. We're here for the hidden vehicles. Everybody's here for the hidden vehicles. So 6 new vehicles. They say only 5 from the list. They only added the 1, 2, 3, 4. They say 4. There's actually 6 in the list. So we have the 116 F3, the T32M, which is a copy of a T32. I already know how I hate this thing. The German captured KV-1, the Russian double barrel mini fridge derp gun, the SU-2-122, the Harry Hopkins Tetrarch modification practically, and the Sahariano Celere M16/43. Is that correct? Or 26? But let's take a look at the 116 F3. It is a premium tank for some reason. Like the Lion or OF40, but makes spawns, credits. It has an autoloader. It should. They nerfed the autoloader from the Supertest, so it's not as devastating, but accuracy could be better. Aim time could be better. Default accuracy or 100% crew is 0.4, which is alright. And 2.78 seconds of aim time, which is workable. It has 8 degrees gun depression, 20 elevation. Traverse for the turret is not slow. Takes 30 seconds to reload 3 rounds. 5 seconds between each shot. Each shot deals 530 alpha, so it's a 130mm, but crew of 4. Let's quickly take a look at the glance of the armor. And let's see how broken this thing is. If it's... oh god. Lower plate about 280. Holy crap, it's 195mm lower plate. 200 at the very bottom. Only 60mm down sloped, but that's 200. Upper plate 195. That's very close to an E100's upper plate. E100 is like 200mm. That's only 5mm less. So Commander Cupola is small. It's only 120, but that's a small target. Loader Cupola is also smaller. Yeah, there's non-existent loader Cupola practically. You do have a shot trap on the hull roof at the front, about 30mm. So if you're face hugging, you can shot trap or just overmatch the roof of the hull. But if this thing is gun depressed on a hill, yeah, no. Okay, that is pretty good. Alright, let's see the side armor, how good it is at side scraping. But 120 for the hull sides. You have 5mm of side skirts, so not half bad too. Yeah, it's pretty good at side scraping too. Funny enough. Yeah, this thing is pretty decent in terms of armor. Like, really decent. Holy crap. Jesus. Even if you don't angle it that much, the drive wheel has 300mm behind it. What the hell? Yeah, the only weak spot is even smaller Commander Cupola than the something of a the 726 or the 279 early. That's smaller than the double cupolas on that reward tier 10. The only downside is the hull roof. You might get shot trapped. You might, but this armor is nuts. Also has an autoloader of 3 rounds. I mean, granted, the DPM is not as good as something of a T57 heavy, or maybe even the Crownwagen. But this thing has a lot better armor than the T57 heavy, right? Alright, we'll wait for tanks.gg to update to see how OP this thing is, but it's not as fast, only 35, so it's more like a IS-4-ish. So not as scary, but still, about 14.5 horsepower per ton ratio. It revs up pretty quick, so we have to wait for tanks.gg to see the dispersion and terrain resistance, but no camo, it's a heavy, and 400 meters of UH. It's a breakthrough heavy tank. Good golly, Jesus, this armor is nuts. This is a copy of a T-32. Come on, guys. It has better accuracy, better aim time, at the cost of the important stat of DPM. That's it. It has about 400 less DPM than the actual T-32, which is surprisingly bad. So it has my T-32. Yeah, with the rammer, it's 2,600. Yes, accuracy is not as good, aim time is not as good, but I can work with 1.8 seconds of aim time or 1.34 accuracy. That's fine with me. I like the DPM. It's just, why? Copy and paste, why? It's a versatile heavy, it's not sniper heavy as originally categorized on the Supertest, but it is a premium, so lazy. It's not even faster. It's the same horsepower per ton ratio, same top speed. It's not faster, same armor too. It should be the same armor. Yeah, it's the same armor. Very strong turret front, as well as cupola front. Hull front is not as strong, yada yada. It's a T-32. Nothing to talk about it. German capture KV-1. Ooh la la. Very nice. Likely in the holiday ops as a runner-up prize if you don't get a tier 8, maybe even tier 9 premium. But hey, the Germans don't have a good tier 5 premium heavy tank, I guess, or heavy tank trainer at low tier, but a German 75mm? Yep, German 75. Crew of 5. Let's take a look. DPM is okay, 1774. Aim time is a little bit wonky, but it's low tier. Penetration is about average. Armor-wise, 75 at the hull front, 110 at the turret front, but you do have the German cupola on top. Yeah. Well, I'm using a 120 that pins at 200mm. Of course I'm going to pin. Let's use a 80mm. There's no such thing. 75 at about 120mm a pin. Yeah, shoot. Don't shoot the mantlet, but shoot anywhere else you'll likely pin. It's whatever. It's a KV1 for the Germans, practically. You can side scrape. 75 the hull sides is not half bad. It's not fast. It's pretty slow. And 330, that's the same view range, I think, as the actual KV1. Maybe the same. It's not that fancy, but don't have a low tier heavy tank for the Germans, so Russian heavy KV1. About the same, 330-ish meters of view range. Is it 330? Actually, 20 more because of the German cupola. Alright, that's fine, but alright. This thing. Oh, okay. It's a T-34 with a large super structure and 2 double barrel, or just 1 double barrel derp guns. 122 derp guns, 2 of them. Nice. I mean, you could fire twice, but salvo preparation is 3 seconds, so you better make sure they don't move for 3 seconds. Takes 12 seconds to reload the shot. Accuracy is horrendous. Aim time is also not that good. If you pin, DPM is pretty nice, but you're not pinning. With 61mm of pin, you're not pinning. And it's pretty boxy. It's like a mini SU-100Y, but you have a double barrel shotgun with it. Okay. It has no armor. 45 at the superstructure. It has no armor. 60, fine. It has no armor. Yeah, it has no armor. Gun traverse limits is only 8, so it's like artillery too. You have to wiggle around a lot, and that will throw off your shots because the bloom of the dispersion while moving the hull is a big factor. Okay. It's a meme. You get it from Holiday Ops, practically. Alright, moving on to other Holiday Ops runner-up gift. So we have the Harry Hopkins Tetrarch, practically. Not a half bad gun. It's a 2-pounder, right? 2-pounder. It's like the Matilda's gun, which is pretty good. The shell velocity on this gun is rather insane. It's actually about 1,300 meters per second for AP round. It is a very quick shell at low tier. The only downside for this vehicle is accuracy is not that great. And DPM is not that great, but it's faster than the Matilda, obviously. Doesn't have the armor, of course, so it's not half bad tier 4, but nobody plays lower tiers anymore. Nobody plays lower tiers. It's a British Tetrarch. Well, then again, the Tetrarch is already British. Just lend-lease to the Russians, but Tetrarch, or the tier 4 Matilda. Let's take a look at the gun first. Matilda. This is one of my favorites. The gun is pretty good. You have more DPM with the Matilda and better accuracy. Only downside is it's slower, obviously, but it has armor. 75 at the hull front and 70 at the hull sides. For a tier 4, that's pretty good. And this thing punches out a lot of the shells. Shells are 1,341 meters per second AP round. That is quick. That is very quick. Penetration is also pretty good. Downside is alpha is not the strongest, but you're practically machine gunning them to death. So, very good gun. I think it might be the best gun at tier 4. Might be. But let's take a look at the final one, which is the Celere, the Sahariano. So Italian tier 3 dust collector. It's like the Gindren, practically. The car at tier 2, which nobody plays lower tiers, so it doesn't matter, but I mean, it is actually built, so it is the Italian answer to the cruiser tanks, but DPM suck. Penetration is also wonky, but tier 3 is alright. The only downside is facing off against a Panzer IIJ that is seal clubbing, so that's the only downside, but armor is only 30 at the hull front. Yeah. Only about 14 horsepower per ton ratio. Okay. And 50 kilometers per hour top speed. It's whatever. So it's like the Gindren for last year. Is it for last year or a year prior? Let's see. It's a tier 2 car that nobody plays if you got it from the large boxes. There, the AM Gindren. That's that thing, yay! It's in the Holiday Ops box, but nobody plays lower tiers. Well, there you go, folks. All the hidden vehicles, I think, in patch 1.19. I don't think I'll mess it up again, like with the last patch, but based on my list, yeah, we cover all these. So there's no BZ-75, that's the tier 10 rocket boosting Chinese heavy tank. There's none of that. And we already covered a bunch already. So looking back on the list, yeah, we can see a few tier 9s maybe popping up for Holiday Ops. But there are a few tier 8s as well. So we're practically already set for Holiday Ops, practically. So we do know all the vehicles from this list likely going to show up for Holiday Ops. So no surprise there, but unfortunately there's no actual skins available, so they might micropatch that in, but there are no new skins, 3D styles, to foretell the Holiday Ops vehicles. So for now, yeah, they'll micropatch the skin in when the day comes, but also no word on well-deserved reward for this year for some reason. Like, we already got all the original Nerf vehicles, like the Hellcat, the VK-28, the Chafee, practically. What's the other one? Reward tier 6, tier 5, tier 7? Let's see. That's normal tanks. Oh, I don't have the mods on. That's the downside. Well-deserved rewards. Well, I don't know which vehicle is going to be the well-deserved reward for this year. Have no idea. They haven't mentioned anything else in your well-deserved reward category, so I don't know. Hellcat? Well, I'll leave it up to you guys to figure out what the hell the well-deserved reward for this year is. Maybe the KV-1 for the Germans. That'll be your well-deserved reward. Nah, there's no original KV-1 for the Germans. Unless you're giving us back the original KV-1S. That's not gonna happen. Or give us the original FE304. That's not super big. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. This thing was the size of an ELC way back then. It got fat. The bird got fat. It was about the size, like half the size from the front of this engine deck to here. It was about that big. Well, realistically, it's not supposed to be that big. Yeah, but well, there you go, folks. Hidden vehicles of this patch, as well as experimental equipment for some unknown reason, but this thing has not been tweaked properly, so who the hell knows. But thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.